Have you ever sat in a room filled with the people you love, yet felt completely alone? You look at your partner, the person you promised to spend forever with, but the silence between you feels like a vast, cold ocean. Most people think that the end of a happy home starts with a big fight or a dramatic betrayal, but they are wrong. The true silent killer of happiness isn't what we say in anger. It's what we stop saying altogether. It's the unspoken things, the small hurts we tuck away, the dreams we no longer share, and the appreciation we assume they already know. In today's journey on the Unspoken Home, we aren't just talking about marriage advice. We are diving deep into the secrets that no one tells you about staying connected in a world that tries to pull you apart. If you've been feeling a distance growing in your home, or if you simply want to make sure your bond remains unbreakable, stay with me. What you are about to hear might just change the way you look at the person sitting across from you tonight. The most dangerous stage in a relationship isn't when you're fighting, it's when you stop fighting. We often mistake silence for peace. We tell ourselves, at least we aren't shouting, or we're just busy with work and the kids. But underneath that calm surface, a slow erosion is happening. Think of your relationship like a garden. If you stop watering it, the plants don't die instantly. They wither slowly, leaf by leaf, until one day you realize the roots are gone. In many homes, couples become efficient roommates rather than passionate partners. You coordinate schedules, you discuss bills, you manage the household like a small corporation. But when was the last time you looked into each other's eyes and asked a question that didn't start with, "Did you remember to?" This is the silent erosion. It happens when we prioritize the doing over the being. We focus so much on building a life together that we forget to actually live that life with the person beside us. The problem isn't a lack of love, it's a lack of presence. We are physically in the same room, but our souls are miles apart, lost in our digital screens or our mental to-do lists. Why do we stop sharing? Often, it's because we want to avoid conflict. We hold back a small hurt because we don't want to start an argument. We hide a moment of sadness because we don't want to be a burden. But here is the truth. Every unspoken word is a brick. Pause. One brick doesn't seem heavy, but over the years, those bricks build a wall so high that you can no longer see the person you fell in love with. These bricks are the small resentments, the time they forgot your anniversary, the way they dismissed your idea, the loneliness you felt, even when they were sitting right next to you. When we stop being vulnerable, we stop being intimate. Intimacy isn't just about physical closeness. It's about into me you see. It's allowing your partner to see your fears, your failures, and your deepest hopes. Without this transparency, the home becomes a place of masks. You play the role of the perfect husband or the supportive wife, but inside, you are starving for a connection that is real. We must learn that a healthy conflict is better than a dishonest silence. Silence doesn't heal wounds. It only allows them to fester. In the dark, most of us listen only to respond, not to understand. We wait for our turn to speak, to defend ourselves, or to give advice. But in a home where silence has started to grow, you need a different kind of hearing. You need to listen to the unsaid. When your partner says, "I'm just tired," are they really just sleepy? Or is that a mask for, "I feel unappreciated"? When they complain about a messy house, are they truly upset about the clutter? Or are they crying out for help because they feel overwhelmed and alone in their responsibilities? Listening to the unsaid means paying attention to the sighs, the lingering glances, and the heavy pauses in conversation. It's about creating a safe harbor, a space where your partner feels they can say the wrong thing and still be loved. In this space, you don't listen with your ears, you listen with your heart. You stop being a judge and you start being a witness to their life. Remember, the greatest gift you can give someone you love is not a solution to their problem. It is the feeling that they are truly seen and truly heard. Because when a person feels heard, the walls of silence begin to crumble, stone by stone. The tragedy of the unspoken home is that we often wait for the other person to change first. We wait for them to apologize. We wait for them to notice our pain. We wait for a sign that they still care, while they are sitting right across from us, waiting for the exact same thing. This is the standoff of silence, a cold war where no one wins, and the only casualty is the love you once shared. To break this cycle, we must understand that silence is not just a lack of noise, it is a lack of safety. When we stop talking, it's usually because we've learned that speaking up leads to being dismissed, being judged, or being ignored. So, how do we make the home safe again? It starts with a radical honesty. Not about what they are doing wrong, but about how you are feeling. And instead of saying, "You never listen to me," try saying, "I've been feeling really lonely lately, and I miss our long talks." Instead of saying, "You're always on your phone," try saying, "I feel invisible when we sit together, and I really want to feel seen by you." This shift from you to I is the first step in dismantling the brick wall. It takes away the need for defense and opens a door for empathy. But let's look deeper. Why is it so hard to say these things? It's the fear of rejection. If I tell you I'm lonely and you don't care, then the loneliness becomes unbearable. So we hide behind our pride. We hide behind our chores. We hide behind the busyness of raising children and paying bills. We become masters of the functional conversation. Did you pay the electric bill? What's for dinner? Who is picking up the kids tomorrow? These are the sounds of a house running, but not the sounds of a heart beating. If your home has become a corporation, it's time to remember that you are not just business partners. You are soulmates. Think back to the beginning, the hours you spent talking about nothing and everything, the way you hung on every word. That person is still there. They are buried under the weight of the unspoken. They are waiting for you to reach out, and you are waiting for them. Someone has to be the first to drop their guard. Someone has to be the first to say, "I'm scared that we're drifting apart." Is it uncomfortable? Yes. Is it terrifying? Absolutely. But what is the alternative? Want to live the next 20 years as strangers under the same roof? To share a bed, but never share a dream? We must realize that intimacy is not a destination. It is a daily practice. It is found in the micro moments. A look, a touch, a question that shows you actually care about their internal world. Ask them, what's one thing you've been thinking about lately that you haven't told me? Ask them, how can I love you better this week? And then, the most important part, you must listen, not to fix, not to argue, just to witness. Allow the silence to be filled with their truth, even if that truth is hard to hear, because the truth, no matter how painful, is the only foundation strong enough to rebuild a home. We often think that love is a fire that just stays lit, but love is more like a hearth. It needs new wood. It needs the ash to be cleared away. The unspoken things are the ash. They clog the air. They dim the light. If you want the fire to burn bright again, you have to start clearing the ash. You have to start speaking the things you've been holding back. Not in anger, not in blame, but in love. Because every time you speak your truth, and every time you truly listen to theirs, you are laying a new foundation. You are telling the other person, you are worth the risk. Our connection is worth the discomfort. Don't wait for the perfect time to talk. There is no perfect time. There is only now, right now, in the middle of the mess, in the middle of the busyness, in the middle of the silence. Break it. Not with a shout, but with a whisper of honesty. And I'm here. I see you. And I want to find our way back. So, how do we actually begin to break down that wall? We often think that saving a relationship requires a grand gesture, a diamond ring, an expensive vacation to the tropics, or a massive, tearful confession in the rain. But the truth is far less cinematic and far more profound. Real intimacy is not built in the grand moments. It is built in the micro moments. It is the 5-second hug before you leave for work in the morning, where you actually feel the other person's heartbeat, instead of just going through the motions. It is the unexpected text message in the middle of a busy afternoon that simply says, I'm thinking of you, and I'm glad you're in my life. It is the way you put down your phone completely and turn your body toward them when they walk into the room. In psychology, and these are called bids for connection. Every time your partner points at a bird outside or shares a small, seemingly unimportant thought about their day, they are throwing out a line. They are asking, do you see me? Am I important enough for your attention? In those seconds, you have a choice. You can turn toward them, or you can turn away. A happy home isn't built on one giant, unbreakable foundation. It is built on thousands of these tiny, daily decisions to turn toward each other. Think of these micro moments as emotional currency. Every time you turn toward your partner, you are making a deposit in the relationship's bank account. And when the hard times come, and they will come, you need that savings. Because if your account is empty, if you have spent months or years ignoring those bids, then the first storm that hits will blow the whole house down. We get so caught up in the big life, the career goals, the mortgage, the long-term planning. We forget that life is actually lived in the small life. The way you make their coffee exactly how they like it. The way you remember the name of that coworker who is stressing them out. The way you reach across the car seat, just to rest your hand on theirs while you're stuck in traffic. These are the threads that weave a safety net. In the Unspoken Home, we believe in something we call the 5-minute rule. It sounds too simple to work, But simplicity is often where the deepest healing lies. The rule is this: 5 minutes of undivided attention every single morning, and 5 minutes of undivided attention every single evening. No screens, no chores, no talk about bills, or the kids' schedules, or what needs to be fixed in the garage. Just 5 minutes of pure human connection. Look at them, not at the version of them you're frustrated with, but at the human being who chose to walk through life with you. Ask them, what was the best part of your day today? Ask them, what is something that has been on your mind lately that you haven't had a chance to say? And then be silent. Let the space between you fill with their presence. These small bridges, built day after day, are what keep the ocean of silence from pulling you apart. You see, the wall of silence doesn't fall all at once. It wasn't built in a day, and it won't be dismantled in a day. But every time you choose a micro connection over a micro distraction, you are removing a brick, and you are creating a new habit of seeing. We live in a world that is designed to steal our attention. Social media, work emails, the endless noise of the digital age. Our attention is the most valuable thing we own, and yet, we often give it to strangers on the internet, while the person we love most is starving for it right next to us. Reclaim that attention. Make your home a sanctuary from the noise. When you are with them, be with them. It's not about the quantity of time, it's about the quality of the presence. You can spend 5 hours in the same room and never connect. Or you can spend 5 minutes truly looking into someone's soul and change the entire trajectory of their day. We often think we don't have enough time for intimacy. But intimacy doesn't take time. It takes intention. When it takes the bravery to be boring. Intimacy is found in the mundane, in the quiet of a Sunday morning, in the shared silence of a long drive. It is the comfort of knowing that you don't have to perform, you just have to be. If you are listening to this, and you feel like the distance is too great, like you've forgotten how to even start a conversation, start with a micro moment. Don't try to fix the last 10 years tonight. Just try to be present for the next 10 minutes. Buy a flower on the way home, not for an occasion, just because. Leave a note on the bathroom mirror. Compliment them on something they think you don't notice. These are the invisible repairs. The world won't see them. The neighbors won't see them. But the person sitting across from you will feel them. They will feel the shift in the air. They will feel the warmth returning to a room that has been cold for too long. Never underestimate the power of a small kindness. In a marriage, there are no small things. Everything is a brick, or everything is a seed. Are you building a wall, or are you planting a garden? The choice happens 100 times a day. It happens every time they speak to you. It happens every time you walk through the door. Choose the seed. Choose the connection. Even when you're tired, even when you're annoyed. Because those tiny seeds, watered by consistency, will eventually grow into a life that is so much more than just fine. It will be a life that is truly, beautifully spoken. I want to share a story with you, a story that serves as a haunting mirror for many of our homes. It is about a man named Thomas. After 52 years of marriage, his wife Sarah passed away. The house became a tomb of echoes. Every room, was a reminder of what was no longer there. A few months after her funeral, Thomas began the painful task of clearing out the attic. It was a place filled with the accumulation of a lifetime. In a dark corner, tucked under a stack of old quilts, he found a small wooden box. It was covered in a thick layer of dust. On the lid, in Sarah's delicate handwriting, were the words, "Things I wanted to tell you, but didn't." Thomas sat on the cold floor, his hands trembling. Inside the box were hundreds of tiny scraps of paper. Some were yellowed with age, some were relatively new. He opened the first one. It was dated 40 years ago. It said, "Today, you looked so handsome in your blue shirt, but I was too shy to say it. I was afraid you would think I was being silly." He opened another from 15 years later. "I felt so lonely when you stayed late at work tonight. I wanted to call you and ask you to come home, but I didn't want to be a burden. I didn't want to make you stressed." And then he found one from just a year before she died. "Thank you for making me tea this morning. You didn't know, but I was feeling so overwhelmed with pain today. That small cup of tea made me feel so loved. I wish I had the courage to tell you how much you mean to me while I still had the breath to say it." Thomas sat in that dusty attic and he wept when he realized that for over half a century, they had lived a good life. They had paid their bills. They had raised their children. They had been polite and kind and functional. But they had missed a soulful life. They had traded these beautiful Miyoko raw and honest moments for a safe, quiet silence. He had never truly known the depths of her heart, and she had never known how much those tiny things meant to him. This story is a warning. It is a warning for every one of us sitting in silence tonight. The Unspoken Home is not just a title. It is a destination that we reach when we stop being brave. Don't wait until the attic is the only place your words live. Don't wait until a dusty box is the only way your partner can finally hear your heart, the most expensive thing in the entire world. Is a regret that can no longer be spoken to the person who needs to hear it most. We often think we have more time. We think we will say it tomorrow or next week or when things settle down. But the truth is, the clock is always ticking. Every unspoken word of appreciation is a missed opportunity to heal. Every hidden hurt is a slow-growing cancer in the relationship. Sarah's box was filled with love, but it was also filled with missed connections. If you have something to say it now. If you are grateful, let them hear it. If you are hurting, let them see it. The vulnerability of the present is always better than the silence of the past. Don't leave your legacy in a wooden box. Leave it in their heart while they are still here to feel it. Building a home with no unspoken walls is a journey of a lifetime. It is not about being perfect. It is not about having all the answers or never feeling hurt again. It is simply about being brave enough to be real. Tonight, when you go home, I challenge you to break the silence. Don't start with a problem. Don't start with a complaint or a list of things that need to be fixed. Start with a thank you. Start with, "I noticed how hard you've been working lately, and I appreciate you." Start with, "I miss you, even when you're sitting right next to me." These words are the keys to the kingdom. They are the light that begins to scatter the shadows in the corners of your rooms. If this message touched your heart today, If it resonated with the quiet longing in your own soul, then it is a sign. It is a sign that you are ready for a deeper connection. We created the Unspoken Home to be a sanctuary for people like you, a place where we can learn together, where we can heal together, and where we can build homes where love is never a secret. Please subscribe to our channel and join our community. By clicking that button, you are making a commitment to your own heart and to the people who share your roof. Share this video with someone who might be sitting in silence right now. You never know. You might just be the bridge they've been praying for. Remember, your home is not just a building. It is a living thing. It breathes, it feels, and it reflects the words you choose to speak. The most beautiful words in your home are the ones you choose to say today. Don't leave them for tomorrow. Don't leave them for a wooden box in the attic. Let your partner hear your heart. While the sun is still up, let your children see what a courageous, honest love looks like. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for being willing to look at the unspoken things. Until next time, keep the conversation alive. Take a deep breath, put down the phone, and go find the person you love. The journey back to each other begins with a single word. Go say it.